Violent protests in Ethiopia over regime change in Addis Ababa. At least 7 people were killed.
Anti-gouvernementales qui ont gagné la capitale Addis Abeba pour la première fois. Regardez.
At least 7 people were killed during fresh clashes between police and anti-government protesters in western Ethiopia at the weekend. It was the first time the ethnic unrest had reached the capital, Addis Ababa. The 7 were killed during Saturday's clashes with the police in the Oromia region, while dozens of protesters calling for a regime change in Ethiopia were arrested. The protesters accused the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front government of marginalizing the poverty-stricken northern region of Amhara and Oromia. They are also demanding the release of the arrested activists. Last Friday, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn announced a ban on demonstrations and authorized the police to use all necessary means to stop them.
Well, in the just-ended municipal elections in South Africa, the President, Jacob Zuma, has come forward saying it shows just how mature democracy in the country has come through, while analysts are saying it shows how much people have lost faith in the ruling party, ANC. Here's a report.
President Jacob Zuma has acknowledged South Africa's local elections as hotly contested as his governing African National Congress ANC party recorded its worst results since the end of apartheid. ANC lost control of the capital Pretoria and its majority in the country's largest city and economic center, Johannesburg.
These elections were hotly contested, with competing parties passionately arguing their points of view in attempts to win the favor of the electorate. That is how it should be in a democracy.
During Zuma's speech, anti-rape activists staged a silent protest in front of him, while his security detail stood nearby, apparently surprised by the protests. The 4 women dressed in black held up placard making reference to a 2006 rape allegations against Jacob Zuma, in which he was acquitted. Zuma has been plagued by political scandals since taking office 7 years ago. In one instance, he was found guilty of misappropriating taxpayers' money to renovate his private home. During his rule, unemployment has risen to 26%, and economic analysts are predicting zero growth in the country's gross domestic product for 2016.
Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara is pushing for the creation of a vice president position. Despite the stiff opposition, he announced a referendum for a new constitution in October.
Ivorian President on Saturday announced the creation of the post of a vice president and a senate outlined in the framework of a new constitution. This comes at the back of the parliament voting en masse in July in favor of a referendum on the new constitution. During a State of the Nation address in the eve of the country's 56th independence anniversary, President Alassane Ouattara said the creation of the post of a vice president will ensure peace and stability in case there is a power vacuum in the West African nation. With regards to the Senate, the President said it will be composed of former state workers of exemplary qualities. However, an opposition coalition comprising 23 political parties is against the move, saying the creation of the post of a vice president is a ploy by President Ouattara to choose his preferred successor. Ivorians will head for a referendum on the new constitution in October, ahead of parliamentary elections later this year.
And finally, Egyptian Nobel Prize-winning chemist Ahmed Zewail was laid to rest. Mr. Zewail was a science and technology advisor to the United States President Barack Obama, and he was also the first U.S. science envoy to be sent to the Middle East. Have a look at this report.
A military funeral has been held in the Egyptian capital Cairo for the late Nobel Prize-winning chemist Ahmed Zewail, who died in the United States at the age of 70. The funeral, broadcast live on television, was attended by the country's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi alongside military leaders, public officials and Zewail's family. After the funeral, a military cortege escorted the casket with the remains of the Nobel laureate through the streets of Cairo. He was later buried at the 6th October Cemetery in the upscale eastern suburb of Cairo. Zewail, who served as a science and technology advisor to the U.S. President Barack Obama, was accorded the military funeral because he was the recipient of Egypt's highest honor, the Grand Collar of the Nile. Zewail is credited with developing a new research field dubbed four-dimensional electron microscopy. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1999.